Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. This is not your first time. Thank you for coming back. Uh, it's been a crazy however many months for pretty much everybody. Yeah. Yeah. So, first off, I was thinking maybe I could do a little bit of a reading. And then I was thinking maybe this is just a conversation. And then I was thinking, no, you should just do a reading. So I really don't know where this is going to take us, where this talk is going to take. It's been a very interesting few days. Um, it's like energy keeps flip flopping back and forth, just back and forth, back and forth. Yes, stuff has been resurfacing. Oh my God. Like, if I'm going to be honest, I have had an amazing, I don't know, like 2 weeks. There's a lot of just amazing stuff going on. Um, and it's just whew, it's been amazing. But then there's also like a lot of this old stuff that really has nothing to do with the current situation, the current environment that really is heavy, like a very heavy type of energy, and it's like it's hard to deal with those types of energies. It just it is. It is. It makes it difficult to go forward if you don't want to address those types of energies. Wait, what? What stuff? I don't know. I don't know. I just yeah. I don't know that it's been difficult. Um, if it has been difficult, like for me personally, it would be difficult because of my avoidance of whatever it is I'm supposed to be addressing. Like, I guess you could even go so far as to say that I've been actively ignoring what my higher self is asking me to do. When it asks me to go live, I don't want to. When it asks me not to go live, I'm trying to force it. Like this afternoon, I was going to go live uh, to do expedites. And I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it this time. I'm doing it today. I'm getting back in my groove, only to find out that, the website is still not allowing people to access the page. Yeah, just crazy things like that where why? Why? So I'm not even really sure why I haven't been doing expedites. I haven't, yeah, like a lot of the things just in the past month has very much been about slowing down work stuff, slowing down my personal processing, really just allowing myself to be um, more willing to flow with what life is bringing me. Like, if we're going to be really, really, really just raw with it, my life is really amazing. I have no problem, you know? And I'm not saying amazing like I'm rich. I'm talking about amazing in that my family is just in this very beautiful, prolonged period of just peacefulness, Like, obviously family members will have little, disagreements and things like that, like my kids, but it's never anything like ridiculously bad. Like earlier, my two little ones were playing a video game. One didn't like that he kept losing, so he was upset, and he just decided not to play. And then that was it. You know what I mean? So everything is kind of just I don't know. Oh, wow. Wow. So I think what I was kind of trying to get at without realizing this is what I was getting at is that it's weird to me that my life has no drama. Wow. So what if we're getting to a point where the types of dramas that we've kind of just been participating in without realizing it, it's being taken away from us, and so we're needing to acclimate to a different type of life. I mean, could that be it for you guys? I I don't know what it is. I don't and I was thinking maybe I just need time, like you guys are saying, maybe I just need time, maybe I just needed a break because for I don't know, 3 or 4 years, I really haven't taken a vacation. I don't take days off. Um, and again, you guys, I don't want this to seem like I'm complaining. This is just my work ethic. This is how I am. So I don't take days off, don't none of that. And then was it last month? I think it was last month. I just woke up and was like, fuck this. I no, no, no more. I just can't. I can't. And I think maybe we go through this thing of like ignoring our needs, ignoring what it is we actually are needing, more than ignoring, kind of trying to talk ourselves out of having needs. I know Pisceans have a tendency to really, really do this, like quite a bit. The whole martyrdom thing. It's not necessarily that, we want people to feel sorry for us. It's that we don't want to be an inconvenience to other people. Um, and I think what's been going on for so many people, not just me, um, I think what's been going on for so many people is that we're rebalancing the way we see ourselves. We're rebalancing the way we interact with other people. And so that creates a lot of room for feeling kind of lost, you know? I get in a mood every time I go into work lately. Ooh. Is it because of someone at work or is it just I mean, what do you think it is? Because, when you ascend in frequency, when you go higher, um, you tend to become more sensitive. It's just like if you rub your skin raw. Yeah, you've shed a layer of skin, but it's more sensitive. So it might be that. Admitting you have needs leaves you open, vulnerable. I used to struggle with vulnerability really badly, like really, really badly. And um it's one of those things where it was such a fear of being vulnerable because I didn't believe in my ability to not just get through any kind of conflict, but survive it. Like you can get through it, but if you're so broken, um, I think at that point in my life, I felt like I was broken beyond repair, failing to realize the reason I felt and appeared so broken to myself was because I kept trying to hold on to the pieces that were being shed, the pieces that needed to be let go of. But I was like, no, 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 that's a part of me. That's a part of me. And I used to try and hold on to it. And, when you're trying so hard to hold on to things that no longer are meant to be there, that depletes you quite a bit. And so that does leave you very, very vulnerable. And it was a place that was very scary because at that time, uh, it was just this knowing of I can't take much more. I can't take much more, conflict. And I'm just so lucky because my husband is always so supportive and just really empowering and very patient with me. But yeah, it was definitely a feeling of like I can't take much more. So I can't let anyone know I'm in this state because if I do, then for sure I'll be broken beyond what I could handle. And in reality, that was just a perception that I had. Um, I have an issue with people thinking I may be a target. What do you mean, smarty girl? Are you, I mean, that's if you're willing to share more. I know this is a publicly visible thing. And of course, if you don't feel like sharing, you don't have to. Ah, girl, you're probably not meant to be in that office anymore. You're probably not meant to. And honestly, when I get that feeling from my higher self, and I don't listen to it, things are allowed to happen to force me out of that position. So just be ready for that, okay? Um, let's see. That I am weak. I've been attacked so much. Gosh, you remind me of myself so much. I used to I used to believe that same perception of I must be weak because so many people attack me all the time. Constantly people like I mind my own business, I stay in my own lane. People always starting stuff with me. And you know, I came to realize that a lot of the stuff that people were starting with me, um, for whatever reason, I still don't understand it. I'm used as a benchmark, some sort of um, some sort of thing to compare yourself to see how much you've progressed. Or I still experience that quite a bit. I'm just like whatever. I'm just yeah. It's ugly. It's an ugly thing. It's definitely an ugly thing. How about instead of appearing to have it all together, how about you just allow yourself to have what you need? You know, it's hard because I can totally relate. Because it's like, why are you guys? Why are you always starting shit with me? I'm not even doing anything. You know. So yes, like a final test. Like, like it's just weird to me. Who am I to you that you would need to like use me as your barometer for success or power or what like that's to me that's obnoxious, but people do that. It's crazy. Um okay. Oh, let's see. I still have such trouble with doubting what my truth is. It's like I have conflicting truths in my head, if that makes sense. It actually does. It actually does. What if it's your actual truth, your authentic truth that's rising up, and what's conflicting is other people's perception of who you are for them and your current need to still participate in that because we don't want to disappoint people. I'm finding that's true for quite a few. Yep. Yes, smarty girl. Yes. It's like this it's like this really childish, almost barbaric mindset. Like, you know, if you go to a prison yard, someone once told me, someone once shared this with me. They had to um they had to go to jail for a little bit, and they said that in order to make sure that everyone else that was already in that jail knew not to mess with them, they had to find the biggest, baddest motherfucker in that yard and start shit with them. I was like, that's so fucking obnoxious. But sometimes that's what people do. That's what people do. Um, And I'm kind of at a point where I don't know how we're supposed to handle it, because there's this one part of me that's like, ignore it. You're above that, ignore it. You have other things that are more important that need your attention. And then there's this other half of me that's like, fuck that. You want some? I'll give you some. And you're going to have to figure out which side is more appropriate, because sometimes the avoidance and the ignoring is a more powerful option, because they're trying to predict what your reaction is going to be. And sometimes they're trying to trigger you. They're trying to gaslight you in order to paint you in a certain way. It's very difficult. You guys notice I'm more than willing to call myself out on shit. Like, more than willing, more than willing. And there's a lot of things where people that were once my associates, oh, they wouldn't dare ever admit to anything like that. Like, no, they don't need to know that. But here's the thing. I was talking to a very dear friend recently, and we were talking about, I forget what the actual topic was, but I do remember um, up came this concept that I have of, if I really wanted to grow the channel, this YouTube channel, I know how to play the game. I know how to like woo people and get you to love me and all of that. And I'm just like, if you don't want to be here, then don't be here. I'm not going to beg you. I'm not going to try and like, oh, I'm going to be really sweet so that you can. No, I just got to be who I am. And my really good friend was talking about how, like, no, you can't do that, because people already know who you are. It would seem fake. And I was like, I know. Yeah. Plus, I just don't have it in me to play games like that. I really don't. But I think that's kind of what happens, is that people play this they play this role, whatever that role is. I don't know. Are you guys sensitive to people like playing the role for you? Like, if someone um tries to be extra sweet, you know damn well they ain't that sweet. You know damn well they is not that sweet. Like, come on. Ooh, conflicting truth is like a mantra. I need to be honest and speak up, but I need to wait for something to cool down and it will pass. I have so much built up just to be told wait. But who tells you to wait? Who is it? Something within you, Matthew, that tells you to wait, or is it someone outside of you that tells you to wait? That's got me super curious, because that's a really good point. That's a really good point. And now I'm being kind of reminded, sometimes um I'll be allowed to get real riled up and triggered and like just woo woo. I'm really like animated, and I gotta say it. I gotta say it. Only for Michael to very softly whisper, "Is that what you want to do?" I'm like, "Fuck you, Michael. Fuck you." And really, I've come to realize that many of those instances where I experience exactly what you described, I end up it's like creation giving me the opportunity to put into action the very things that I've learned, the lessons that I just finished, like self-restraint, discernment, empowerment, knowing when to speak up and speak out and when to just not participate, all of that. Um, let's see. You ain't got to lie, Craig. My husband always says that. What's their reason for being fake? Honestly, you want do you really want an answer for that? What's their reason for being fake? For me, what I've seen is that certain people will play that role in order to maximize external validation. They don't have it within them to value themselves. And this is the very reason they will emulate someone else in order to receive um, a similar type of external validation they're seeing that the individual they're emulating is receiving from people. It really is just, it's this sense of lack of understanding of self. Um, Yes, I can totally relate to you, Max. I was naive and trusted so many. Through a rough learning process, I've become hypersensitive to all things and all people. I'll let people play their character, but I see the actors behind the mask. Yes. Yes. And that doesn't mean that it's my job to call anyone out or to embarrass them, to publicly anything. It's just this need for me to have no guilt or shame in knowing there's an actor behind the mask. And now I no longer like, girl, don't be like that. Girl, Emmy, don't blah blah blah. Because I used to always do that. Like my intuition would tell me this is gonna end bad. This is gonna be real bad. Oh, it's gonna be ugly. And I'd be like, don't be like that. You know, let them show you. But here's the thing. They're already showing you. They already showed you. Energetically showed you, but you don't have yet the in real life experience to trust it. It's a matter of trusting yourself. Hmm. It's not just a case of being civil or being a bitch. Sometimes the most civil thing to do is be a bitch. And if you're so caught up in being afraid of how people who know you on a deeper level think you're fake, there's a reason you're feeling that way. I don't know if you're actually being fake, but there's a reason you're feeling that way. So, how you see me in the live streams, how I am in person, how I am with just my family, um, it's all different. It's all different. And it's not that I'm being fake on a live stream or fake in real life or any of that. It's that I have different relationships with different people. I can't have a mother child relationship with you because you're not my child. So it's going to be a different relationship. Like, um, you can be rude to me and I'm not going to tolerate that. And you have a 50-50 chance of me lashing out or me just like, hey, you better step back. But with my child, I mean, that's it's not a 50-50 nothing. It's a very, very solid, very stable, excuse me. I'm going to need you to recognize who it is you're talking to. Now, if something's wrong, let me know if you want to talk. But you don't get to lash out at me just because you're upset with someone else. 100% of the time I will have that response. So it's not that you're necessarily being fake. It's that you have to understand different people will have different connections and relationships with you. I won't behave in a professional because I do know how to play the role of a high level professional. I can play that role if I need to. That's when I still worked for someone else. And now what's more important to me is really allowing my authenticity to shine and not being afraid of losing people, not being afraid of people seeing the truth of who I am at this point, you know? But look into why you're having that fear of the people who know you thinking you're fake. There's something to that. I don't know what it is, but there's something to that. You got to look into that deeper. Um, a lot of secrets that people keep. Then they demand I be upfront, even after I've been nothing but open and honest, like I'm holding back the truth. Matthew, what if that's someone who is projecting? because they're keeping the secrets, and so they're assuming, like, okay, my son was telling me that once, while we were still living in an RV full time, um I left my oldest with the younger siblings in the RV. We were in the parking lot of Walmart. My husband and I went inside Walmart to go grocery shopping, right? And he was reminding me, I think it was earlier today, how some lady made it a point to come over and walk to our RV because, my kids they're walking around or doing whatever they were doing in the RV. And so the RV is kind of moving a little bit and it's kind of shaking side to side. And she um, said something like, "You got some nerve having sex in a parking lot." And that just totally triggered me hearing it again this afternoon because it's like, what kind of person are you that your initial assumption is that people are having sex in a parking lot because you're focused on sex? When someone looks at me and is like, "Oh, she's going to steal something," that's because you're already guilty of having stolen something from someone else before. When I look at someone, I don't see someone as a thief. I don't see someone as a sex addict. I just see you as a person and you are who you are. And whatever aspect of yourself I see is whatever aspect of yourself that I see. Even if you show me something ugly, I still have an understanding that you have potentiality. You have aspects of yourself that I'm probably not going to see, and that you're probably not a horrible person. You can even ask my husband this. Plenty of times when someone says or does something ugly while we're out, I'm quick to be like, they're probably having a bad day. I mean, that sucks. It sucks to be that angry with the world, but it has nothing to do with us. Let's see. Yes, you can't be the same person with everyone. We all have different sides of ourselves. Yeah. And it might not even be someone else trying to manipulate them. It might be their own programming causing them to manipulate themselves. Um, oh. How do the certain people make it a struggle? Hmm. I was never bullied in school. I'm like trying to, I was never bullied in school, but I want to say about 2 or 3 years ago, definitely was cyberbullied. They definitely tried to bully me. Shit was hilarious to me. See, your mind will get clouded and you will feel full of doubt if you allow it to get to you. And it really sucks because it's like, why do you have to go out of your way? Why do you have to overcompensate for other people's stupidity, rudeness, savagery? Because it's your life. That's why. Because you're worth that effort. That's why. Because you deserve to know, to experience someone absolutely going out of their way for you, which is you. You should go out of your way for yourself. I mean, this is a lesson that I have been in the process of learning for much of my life. Much of my life. We are absolutely worth fighting for. Absolutely. It's so interesting how we are so quick to give up on ourselves. Me too. Tonight, I was totally like, what the fuck did you say? It was so, my mom. I was never bullied, but I will say I did bully the bullies. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Because if you want to play like that, I mean, I'm willing to play. But that was in high school. I'm Now I tend to be more like, well, do they really need someone to step in, or is this more of a case of they need to find their own voice? Because bullying still occurs even though we're all grown, allegedly. uh, um I was ruthlessly bullied in school. You just got to be the survivor after the fact. Um, hmm. Yeah, Pisces have a tendency to go out of our way for everyone else and forget ourselves. Yeah. Like, what do you guys consider bullying? Like for me, they were bullying me in that they were basically committing slander, libel, excuse me, attempting to defraud me, attempting like all of this stuff. All of this stuff. Can you be bullied if it doesn't bother you? That's like I kind of like laugh when I say I was bullied. It didn't really bother me. Like the aspects of me that were bothered were the aspects of me that were like, why can't you love yourself enough to the people? Why can't you love yourself enough to just accept that I'm no longer in your life? I'm not going to come back to you. You are not going to have access to me. I will not continue to support you in the way that I did. You're cut off. And that's a part that upset me. But all the other tactics, I was just like, okay. And that's why you guys you have to be really honest in who you are. If you're going to have any kind of like public exposure to anything, you have to just be really honest in who you are, because there will always be people, once you see reach a certain point, there will always be people who will go out of their way to look for ways in which to tear you down. And if you own all of your truths, no matter how ugly, it can't be used against you. It just can't. It just can't. Like, oh, you want to hack me and oh, you're going to dox me. Okay, yeah, no, I'm not ashamed of my financial history. I'm not ashamed of where I've lived. I'm not ashamed of any of that. That's not going to do anything. So if you own your life, basically, it doesn't really have an effect on you. They say dumb shit to you. Some bullies look like clowns when they talk shit about the friends they'll hang with that night. Yeah. Um So, obviously, I can't give you advice about life. I'm not someone you want to take advice from. Uh, it's gonna be horrible. No, I'm not even gonna say it. I talk so much shit to people who talk shit. So, if you're experiencing bullying at every workplace, is it the workplace or is it something within your perception? Because that's something that I am huge about asking myself. If I'm having the same type of conflict with one group and I'm now having it with another group, is it the groups or is it something I'm not seeing within myself? Because that year that people attempted to bully me, cyberbully me, is the same year that other groups decided to attempt after they were neutralized. The first group was neutralized. And I really had to sit down and ask myself, is this something that maybe I'm perceiving it in a distorted way? Or is it something that, is it me? And I came to realize it was me, but not in the way that people think. So it wasn't me starting shit with people, because that's what I didn't understand. Like, I can hold myself accountable for all the shit that I do. Like, if I start shit with you, I can admit to myself, I started that shit. I can admit that to myself. And so what ended up happening was this recognition that this was a projection of an internal circumstance. These people were saying the very things that I was very quietly thinking about myself. And I thought I had already resolved it within myself, but I hadn't. I hadn't. And when I resolved it finally, like really faced it within myself, um, all of that went away. Do you guys feel like you should be nice to a bully? Like, serious question. Do you guys feel like that is how you're supposed to? Because I'd like to get more points of view when it comes to that. Jamie said, "Screet." So I remember when I was in kindergarten, there was this boy that was bullying me. I was in kindergarten, and I was just a very introverted child, and so he was very intimidating to me. And I decided one day that if I go ahead and give him a toy, that he would stop bullying me. So I brought some Hot Wheels, little cars to school. I was in kindergarten. I didn't tell any adults, okay? I didn't tell any adults. So I don't know why. But I brought these cars to school and it was recess and I told him, "I will let him have these cars if he starts treating me like a friend." That little motherfucker took my little cars and said no, and he shoved me. And I said, "You have to give me back my cars." And no, he kept it. So from then on, you want to fuck with me? You're going to have a problem. I'm not going to have a problem. You are going to have a big motherfucking problem. And maybe it's time for me to release that. Well, in many ways I have released that. I haven't retaliated when it comes to so many people over the past 2 years. So many people that I probably should have retaliated. I probably should have fucking sent my lawyers like, "Cease and desist, bitches." But I don't know why that made me laugh. But I didn't. I didn't. Why? I don't know. To me, it's just I could understand what was going on within them. Yeah, in many ways I could understand what was causing them to behave in that way, and I just didn't feel like adding on to it um, was the best option for me. Which at the same time it was kind of ridiculous because I have legal on retainer. Like that's what you fucking paid for, girl. But I was just like, what's that gonna do? What's that gonna do? Get money? They have no money. They have no money. What's legal shit gonna do? Nothing. So I don't know. Maybe you don't necessarily have to be nice in the way that I think when people tell me that I have to be nice, like I have to put on this front of, okay, you're not a bad person. But I think we do have to show some type of compassion in that what what would that option do? If I selected, whatever option it is, what would that do? Would it solve anything? If no, then it's not worth it. Um um Max. Yes, smarty girl, I did recognize that. Making an example of a situation halts future conflict. When I addressed it publicly, what was being done silently, um, I addressed that shit publicly. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, That ended it right there. Like, bitches, I'll go public. I didn't have to name names, but I'm not going to hide. If you're going to victimize me, I want everyone to see this shit. Go ahead and victimize me. Sometimes all it takes is the courage, because I mean, really, if they're going to be embarrassing you behind closed doors already, but I don't human well. I don't human well, you know. I didn't even have to show receipts, and I have plenty of receipts, but I didn't have to show any receipts. I sat myself in front of a camera and I said, say whatever you want. Just say whatever you want. I recognize you're a person that's hurting because you realize I'm probably the bestest friend you'll ever have in your life, and you ruined that. And so you're lashing out. And it was the truth. It was the truth. That was the reason they were lashing out. Because I recognize the toxicity, I cut it out of my life without argument. And that justified an attempt to try and completely ruin me on every level. Yes, you have to stand up for yourself and for others that can't stand up for themselves. Absolutely. Absolutely. I, so you guys, do I give off a vibe of don't F with me? Do I give off that vibe? Is that an impression that you get from me watching me? Yeah. And has it started shit for me? Yeah, I definitely I can turn it off and on as I feel is appropriate. Exactly. Only when someone gets out of line, and if they're out of line, their opinion of me no longer matters. And it's not that I give zero fucks, it's that I give plenty of fucks for specific things. I'm not just going to be tossing around like, here, everybody have some. No, very specific things. You're not going to disrespect me. You're not going to have me accept abuse. You're not going to have me behave as though it's okay for you to degrade me in some way. And if you don't want me saying things, don't try it with me. Very simple. Simple. You know, you don't want me checking your ass? Don't put your ass out there like that. Very simple. And when you have these very, very clear boundaries, because people know, like, she looks sweet, but that one's not worth it. That one's definitely not worth it. And they have a tendency to not try. Um, ooh, that's hard. Ooh, and Jamie, can I get that in writing? Um, yeah, no, there's been times in the past where I'm in a heated conversation with an individual and I gotta go. Text me. And I'll put in the text, I prefer to have documented interactions with you for my protection. Not because I'm going to release it, but because if you're going to try and create lies out of this conversation, I'm going to correct it. It's not a threat. This is a balancer. I don't play that shit of like, shit talking on the phone and no. Nope. Email me. I want that shit time stamped. Whatever you got to say, email me. I'm not playing no fucking games with people. Um Thank you, Max. I'm a bad word sayer. um hmm. Is it really hard to keep your cool, Sarah? Or um is it more of like that's what people expect from you and so that's what you allow yourself? Like I'm not like roundabout accusing. I'm curious. So, genuine question. Is it have you always been that way even as a little child? Or is it something more of a behavioral pattern that's become more apparent as like you've become a teenager and a young adult? I keep records of everything too. I'd be like, bitch, this going in your fucking file. Talk more shit. I'm joking. I didn't actually say that. I should though. For some people, I don't. Bitch, this going in your file. You need me to add something else? Oh my gosh. Um. Wow, Stephanie, they told you that you weren't allowed to have any boundaries? Wow. I'm still really. Yeah, and maybe, Jamie, maybe you're going through the things that you're going through as a part of your learning to prepare you for full adulthood. It might just be that. Um, ooh. Ooh, Crystal. I don't have sisters, so I don't know what it's like to fight with a sister. Whenever whenever my brothers and I would fight, that shit would be fist fight. We don't fuck around like that. Jacqueline, yes. If someone disrespects another, there are consequences. Causation and effect. Motherfucker, you chose this causation. Now I'm going to deliver the effect. Unless we've grown from that and that's not what we do anymore. Um Ooh, Rudo. I prefer seeing it for myself. Sometimes I fail to see how harmful and toxic people are for me. I can be like that too. Whew. I think for my consciousness, it helps to ground me in reality to hear it in person. Yeah. Wait, what are you giving up to Mike to deal with? See, I tend to, if we're gonna talk about my characteristics, I tend to have no boundaries until someone tries to disrespect boundaries, like the basic minimum level of respect. Fuck yeah, I'll have boundaries after that. I try and diffuse situations first, especially like in real life, face to face. um I try to be as um pleasant as possible. But if you're gonna still try and disrespect me, motherfucker, you're gonna get something else coming. Totally something else coming. Let's see. For me, that was my mom and grandma. They consistently set me up. My aw. You see, calm down, gangsta. Who needs to calm down? That's me. That's me. Gangsta number one. Y'all, I used to hang around with very, very questionable characters. 100% 1111. I did. I used to have very questionable company when I was a teen. So, you know. Ooh, I have to work to accept my boundaries still. Ooh, that's deep. Wow. Mm. Ooh. Same here, Crystal. Same here. I would go real hard, like, you know, start shit with me? Okay, let's do it. And then it got to a point where my brothers were like, it's not fucking worth it. This girl is just crazy. And she don't know when to stop. So they stopped fucking with me. Hey, Um, let's see. I'm always the questionable one. I am. So, my, my eyes. Let's see. There are rules of common sense we all abide, but there is a fine line when it's crossed. It's about how you react to it that matters. Like, um, react to what people are doing to you, or how they react to you having boundaries. Excuse me. So, hmm, I don't know what's supposed to happen with the world. Yeah, I'm about to be out too. Good night, Jamie. I don't know what's supposed to happen with the world. I don't know how we're supposed to react to what's happening with the world. I just know there's a lot of changes that are going on within us, outside of us, around us. It's one of those things. Yeah, I have minimal tolerance for certain types of things, and it's okay. It's okay. I've learned, it's taken a while to learn it, to not hold on to things that are just hurting me. Like, what's the point in that? If it's hurting you, let it go. Just let it go. And sometimes those things come back. Sometimes those things come back, and it's not to hurt you again. It's more like to correct whatever it was. No, Michael. No. uh, but I'm tired. He says to, okay. So, guys, I'm going to be ending this live right now, and I'm going to be starting another live. Can I just do it in this live? Um, huh. Hmm. I'm tired. All right. I'm going to end this live. I'm going to come back with another live to do a reading. Do a reading. All right, guys. Thumbs up for this video. Subscribe. Catch me in a few minutes. Whatever. Bye.